Welcome to another Locate Inventory tutorial video. I'm Lance with Brando Consulting, inventory software expert since 2006. This tutorial is going to cover picking a work order and yielding a work order. Before I get started, I want to point out that Locate is considered light manufacturing. In this example, I'm going to do a very simple work order, which is cut a piece of material out of some fabric. We're just going to cut the sleeves, cut the main body, torso. That's it. Simple. There's a cutting service and fabric consumption to create a pre-cut pattern part. Another example of what I would consider light manufacturing is this company right here, Back Motion. These components that they sell to equipment owners, these are little suction cups, just have a couple of components that snap together or screw together. Very simple. That would be considered light manufacturing, a good fit for Locate. Something that would be considered more mid-weight to heavyweight manufacturing would be an example like A&F Wood that pre-assemble pocket door and sliding door frames for Home Depot and Lowe's and another one that I forget the name of, but yeah, pocket doors. So that requires a little more planning, a little more scheduling. They schedule 2 to 3 weeks in advance. The work orders could last a while for hours or an entire shift or an entire day, and the material that's consumed could be variable. So that's more of a fit for fishbowl inventory or mysis manufacturing. This is a really cool product. These guys, Sound Metrics, make a underwater sonar device to create a digital image of what's going on underwater for these industries here. And yeah, cool. That's one of my favorite parts of my job, is working with all you guys and all the neat things that you do. So anyways, Sound Matrix creates this device, and it literally takes about 10 work orders to make. There's several steps in making that. That I would consider more on the heavy side of manufacturing, where you get into the needs for MRP. Really need MRP with that. And once again, that's more fishbowl inventory, mysis manufacturing. So we're going to show you light manufacturing, light work orders in Locate. Today is February 2021. So I always remember the date of these videos when I do these tutorials or demos, because software is always changing. All right, so we can either go to the work order screen and select the work order we want to finish. The BOM name, which usually has a description of the finished good, is there, so that's nice. Or we can go to the picking screen, which what I like about the picking screen is it shows us what's available to finish. And usually the pick happens before the work order, right? So it kind of makes sense to me to go to pick. So I'm going to select completely fulfillable. And then I'll also put a filter here to show work orders. So I just want to narrow this list down to say, show me work orders. And the date the work order was created, it can be a nice indicator too. So I'll click Create Pick and Create Pick. Then we can just go to the pick and commit and finish. So that's picked. It brings us right to the work order screen. And you'll see the status of the work order is changed to ready to yield. That status only appears if everything's been picked for the work order. You'll see over here the status is ready to yield, issued, issued, unissued, unissued. I want to throw in a couple more, so I just added another manufacturer order with work orders 49 and 50. So those should be showing up on the pick screen to pick. I'm going to click this back arrow to go to the list of picks and click on the plus pick screen to go to the area where we create picks. Completely fulfillable. Look at work orders And there's the 2 work orders I just created. So we'll create pick, go to pick. Now we can also pick these from the mobile device. Go back to the mobile device and click picking. The picks that we created will show up on this screen. So that's a way to control what gets sent to the mobile device, is to create the pick in the desktop. This is pick 98, and there's our blue cotton fabric. We are picking it from the backordered location. We talked about that in a previous video, in my receiving video. Just means there was an order waiting for it to come in, so we just set it aside in the backordered location instead of putting away into stock. We'll commit and finish the pick. Now that pick is finished. Now if we come here and refresh this screen, click our browser refresh button, we see that the pick is complete. If we click on the link to the work order, we'll see now we have 2 work orders that are ready to yield. So this work order, we're going to make, or we're cutting out a pattern for sleeves. This work order, we're cutting out a pattern for sleeves. Let's look at one where we're cutting out the torso. So we're on the work order screen for this example. You'll see the status is issued. We can come to actions and click autocomplete. Are you sure you want to autocomplete? Yes. And that just sort of skips through the picking step. Kind of freaky if you're using location tracking and there's more than one location to pick things from. Kind of awesome if you're not and you don't want to go through all those steps. So think about your workflow and your process and which process fits. So now we've got 3 that are ready to yield. So to finally finish it off and record that it's done, we click Yield Work Order. If we want to double check costs, say this is the first time you're using the software and you want to QC it for the first time, make sure the accounting side is going to be right before you close out the work order. Go to Reports right here on the work order screen. Just click Reports, Work Order Report. And I like to look at the view, the PDF view right here. So I click on PDF and that gives us a nicer view. And here you see it took 10 hours of cutting to cut 100 torsos. Now that seems like a long time to me. I would think to cut that out it would take like 5 or 10 minutes. So that's like 5 or 10 minutes per torso. That's 500 to 1,000 hours, or 500 to 1,000 minutes. If they're on the high side, 1,000 minutes converted to hours, I guess it's not as much as I thought. 100 torsos is a lot. 500 minutes converted to hours. Okay, that checks out. There, we've done our quality check. See if we've got some good numbers in there. Now this cutting service will add to our inventory asset account, or whatever account this finished good is mapped to. So when we finish this work order, this finished good or this output item will have the sum of these costs. So this number should change when we finish out the work order. So we'll go to Actions, Yield Work Order. Now that it's complete, let's go back to this report. And now you see the number matches the number below. The previous number that was there is a number I just absent-mindedly put in for that part in a different field. I'll show you the field. I can link right to that part from here and then click on Details to see that cost. This tooltip explains it all. This field will be used to calculate margin split bombs when last cost is not available. It will only affect costing on labor and service parts. So it's just it's supposed to be there to help us estimate if nothing's in stock. So it's good to estimate accurately instead of do what I did, which was just absent-mindedly throw something in there, I don't know, a month ago or whenever I put it in. Okay, so let's yield another work order. We'll select this work order. We can view the quantity down here below. Looks good. And then yield work order. If we want to see this in stock, we can also click on that link. Brings us to the part. Click on the inventory tab on the part. Now we see on hand, total on hand in that warehouse. So now we're ready for the next video where I show you an outsourced work order process. We're going to take these sleeves that we cut and the torso that we cut and ship it out to the vendor for him to sew. Be sure to comment below if you have any questions. Subscribe to see more videos like this. And always, always, always like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.